Welcome to the D&D world.
Hi, hello, this is Mark Delacroix here, live yet again after having slain the technical difficulties. We have consulted with the tech priest, and we have banged the right machinery, and have thus been able to produce audio alerts, because we didn't have audio alerts for a brief bit, because OBS is a thing and I couldn't read briefly. It's fine. But in any case, today I have with me Tony. Say hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Cool, there's a Tony. All right, and also I have a PowerWash simulator game. Look at that. Look at that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a really big area for such a small piece.
There's a lot of dirt on this thing. So, you know, it all works. So we're here playing Warhammer 40k because we are exciting, basically Warhammer 40k. We're playing PowerWash Simulator, the 40k expansion for it. Because we are taking kind of a slow week here because this is a busy week for us here at the Lorelink. I'd say offices, but we all work from home, so offices are kind
That's
of
many
normal.
offices. That's
Many
offices.
There you go. And the offices of Lorelink, because this is the week of HoosierCon, which t-shirt I am wearing. You can kind of see if you're wearing 3D glasses, that image is in 3D, because that was their theme last year. So I have a cool, neat 3D t-shirt. HoosierCon is basically a tabletop gaming convention here in Indianapolis. It's a cool one. Basically, most of their work supports charity. And so basically we love partnering with them, providing basically we're sponsoring them, and how we are sponsoring them is the first 1,000 people who show up to the convention will receive basically a flyer which will give them access to Lorelink for 3 months. Now we did just note, one of the things that delayed the stream slightly is we did note there is a slight printing error. It says May, but the codes will be good immediately. So, whoops, small whoops on that part. But I've cleaned a toe. Look at me. Let's see. Cleanse initiated, cogitating, clarification required. Ensigner outranks Tech Priest, and yet Tech Priest sanctifies Dreadnought, while Ensigner cleanses Promethean fuel drums. Someone is irritated.
I know you said words, but what those words mean, I have no idea.
Tech priests are the members of the Adeptus, who are responsible for making sure that all the tech is blessed and properly sanctified and doesn't have any demons or bugs or other stuff in it. While the engineers are the people who do the hard grunt work. Previous biographical impartation increased ritual efficiency by 3.56%. There you go.
Yeah, this was a money sink I never got into.
Uh-huh.
I learned my lesson with Magic the Gathering and the 500 other CC collectible card games that came out in the late 90s.
There's a fun topic for you. What basically what did you get involved in CCG wise? There were so many of them.
Oh, magic spell. What was the D&D one?
Spellfire, wasn't it?
Spellfire. Because I keep thinking Spelljammer. It's like, no, that's
Nope.
Campaign World or whatever. The Crow, Monty Python,
The Crow.
Star Trek, Star Wars. What else was out there?
How much material was there for The Crow?
I don't remember.
Like, I don't...
Enough to make a game.
Like, I mean, obviously, it's obviously the... Well, okay, I take that back. Like, there were a lot of Crow movies, weren't there?
But by the time the game came out, I think it was only the original. I don't think it was even City of Angels.
The City of Angels wasn't out yet. Well, so it was all just movie shots from the original. Speaking of it, Highlander. So that one at least had the TV series to go off of as well.
That was another one I'd forgotten. That one pretty much. If it had one, me and some friends tried it out because we just were always. It was called Frog's Fantasy Factory in Newcastle. Was our friendly local game shop.
LGS.
FLGS.
Yes, FLGS. Favorite local game shop. Or favorite little game shop, depending on how big it is near you. But let's see here. I didn't get pulled into as many. Like, I did Magic. I was into Magic the Gathering when it first started, which means yes, I presumably have thrown away chunks of money and things like that. And
yeah, let's not talk about that.
If only I had known, etc., etc. But I was around during Unlimited. Unlimited was just going out of stock when I was starting. It was Unlimited, Arabian Nights, and Revised was just coming out.
Yeah, for me it was Revised in the dark.
Oh, the dark. Fun things like Chain Lightning. Your Magos had asked that I impart some account of your chapter's history to assist the vigor of your cleanse. Ooh, my juice cleanse.
You know, I'm really annoyed that those announcements don't show up on my screen too.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading them out to. But I already sense the fervor that our chapter's Redemptor Dreadnought brother Zachiel stirs in you. Microplastic incinerator cap. It is well that he is induced to slumber. Yes, that's right. There is a living person inside of this. Well, kind of. Mostly living.
Is this like RoboCop?
Kind of. It's a bit less. There is a few words. Those are usually the last to pass into the ears of a traitor. Basically, I'm not sure if they're more than a brain. And much more than that. To be fair, all of... we would not wish for him to exercise such judgment in our current location. A lot of the 40k humans, quote unquote, are not, basically, are really kind of mutant, basically strange mutant people in order to best serve the Emperor with lots of extra body parts and other things in order to better serve the Emperor, as it were. They are a bit of a mess. Yes, the basically,
no salt of the earth. There are people of the land. Morons.
Morons. I love the fact that he improvised that line. But yeah, basically, if you're getting creeped out by 40k, the more you learn of the lore, you're doing it correctly. Warhammer 40k lore should creep you out. In the grim dark future, there is only war. There are no real good guys, and everything is just kind of a mess. For millennia, our chapter has scoured the galaxy for the corrupt and the honorless. These redacted heretical turned their back on the Emperor and left us with no choice but to remove any whisper of them from history. I love the phrase redacted. There. A recent excursion amidst the dense carnivorous forest of planet Withheld, classified, detected evidence of such redacted schismatic. Oh, hi. Suddenly a large thing appeared on top of me.
Don't mind the scaffolding.
Yeah, just pop it in. Alright, let's clean this Gatling gun. Let's actually pay attention to the remove any whisper of history, it's a very ancient Egyptian of them. Yep. I don't like this guy. I took over, therefore they couldn't possibly exist. So it's less ancient Egyptian and more medieval Roman Catholic. We don't like that. We're just going to say that didn't happen. We just removed that from history. Need to clean these fingers. This knuckle. I can have it. Never. Did not exist. Can't tell if that's. Where is the grime on this Gatling gun, brother? Oh, it's there. It's the belt. There's the gun.
Yeah, it had to be at the angle I was at.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, here's how much I've gotten into this game. I've got 12 hours into Baldur's Gate 3. I've got 30 into this.
It is basically, unlike Baldur's Gate, it's a much more relaxing kind of, you don't want an intense ending to your day. You boot this up and just PowerWash something. Up to and including the Back to the Future car, which I think is what has been your...
I have gone through the entire Back to the Future pack.
Nice.
Doc's van, the DeLorean, the courthouse, and Doc's time train.
Oh wow, the train, huh?
Yeah, it's got about as many nook and crannies as this thing does.
Makes sense. This figure, I bet you it's the top. Yep, there we go. I'm like, wait, if I just need the back up, don't I? Look at all that stuff just lighting up. Everybody loves that. Anything else? The armor of the fist. Hearing that there is to be an assault upon the nearby planet of Withheld, Strategic Atmosphere B785, Brothers Akil and Sister Chapter Squad into the gathering forces. They seek to obtain a restricted artifact H-class. That they seek to obtain a restricted artifact H-class. It's of no import to us. We just clean the mechs. We seek only the identity of the every enemy who would have it for themselves and to have to crush them. Yep. Basically, PowerWash Civ in this game is very much a serotonin, and basically just kind of a make things disappear. You're like, oh, that's dirty. I can fix that. I can deal with that.
It's the one thing in my life I can control.
Exactly. Nope, that's cleaning. Going to join you on your plinth of power, brother. Trying to figure out where the rest of this dirt is. There's the elbow joint. There we go. shoulder pauldron still has a little bit on it. But where? Down inside? Yep, there you go. Yep, shoulder pauldron is clean. Okay, good.
Yeah, somehow I fell off the dang thing and just onto the...
You're just standing on it now.
Neck.
It's
So
fine.
yeah, this works.
As long as it doesn't wake up and murder us all, we're fine. What are the odds of that happening?
In this game, I mean, this
Not
game doesn't
high.
even have drop damage.
It doesn't. You don't have a health bar.
I swear we are 89% cleaned already.
Yeah, this one is a relatively simple one compared to the tank. This is relatively simple.
I'm just happy when I posted on Blue Sky, I actually guessed the right level because I could not find any that had the levels in actual order.
Oh wow, really?
And because
you mean the
the
PowerWash wiki doesn't have this updated?
Oh no, it's got all the levels, but it's got them in 2 columns, so you don't know which ones.
Ooh, guess. Makes such lovely squelching noises when you clean. Oh wow, there's a bunch of stuff directly underneath you. Don't mind me, I'm power washing underneath you, really. Totally.
Yeah, we've already done the whole squirt gun thing.
Yeah, we've already done that already. We already did that, then we issued the warning to kids at home. Do not play squirt guns with power washers. It will end badly. Alright, it'll end with the hospital visit. Actually, 40K is actually relatively topical, as they just had Adeptus Con, which is a in-person event for Warhammer 40K. So that was this weekend, and then I'm sure that at Hoosier Con they will have BattleTech as well as Warhammer 40K, and maybe Warhammer.
I know I've said this before on various streams, but I really miss BattleTech simulators.
Oh, the pods, yeah.
Virtual World.
Mm-hmm.
Little BattleTech, little Martian football.
I never played the Martian football. Like, I always saw Red Planet, but I never played Red Planet.
I got roped into it once or twice because I just hang out and get free games when people needed an extra. New people that work there.
Yeah, I've done the basically. I've done the. I'm just gonna be a bit watcher. We have disclaimers now. That's good. We do not endorse. Do not endorse. Basically, do not squirt your friends with basically with high-powered power pressure washers. Also, do not join fascist armies, military armies in the far distant future of the year 40,000 to clean their gunk off. Don't do it. I mean, you don't really have a choice, but well, speaking of Egon, you did see the Ghostbusters movie. As far as they haven't done a Ghostbusters Power Wash simulator, because that one just seems...
They've got... I saw they have at least 2 more paid DLCs they're announcing this year, with some more holiday and free stuff.
Like cleaning the Ecto 1, basically cleaning the firehouse, cleaning the Empire State Building after all the marshmallow. I mean, it just writes itself. That one seems like a no-brainer. The center portion is called the sarcophagus. Yes, do you remember the part about there being a person in here? They basically being assigned to a dreadnought is a honor for when you fall in battle, and basically there's not much left usable of the rest of your body. You get the honor of being in a basically you continue to serve the emperor. Cleaning inside the Statue of Liberty. Oh, there you go. I don't know what you'd clean for the two newest movies. I haven't watched Ghostbusters.
Well, that's when you'd clean the Ecto-1 is the way the condition it was in on Afterlife.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Or it was a barn find.
Mm-hmm. I know what you'd clear. Basically, I hate when movies just call themselves the name of the series and don't bother giving a subtitle, because then you're like, now I have to remember what year the all-ladies Ghostbusters cast was.
That was Answer the Call 2016.
Oh, it's Answer the Call, right. It did have a subtitle. I know we clean from Answer the Call. Or, of course, with some people's opinions these days, if you put Answer the Call in, they'd be upset.
I don't know. I put Answer the Call above Ghostbusters 2. I'm still trying to figure out if Frozen Empire is going to go before or after Answer the Call.
Really? It was an okay Ghostbusters movie, but not that great, huh?
It was fun, but it felt like a short movie with a bunch of semi-related vignettes attached to it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Oh, wow, there's just some stuff just directly underneath the bottom. There we go. Speaking of stuff at HoosierCon, let's be randomly jumping topics, because I'm going to do that because, you know, it's PowerWasher and you just let your neurons just kind of fire. One of the things that I am already signed up for is I'm going to be trying out a new RPG system called Jura, the Twilight Age, from Eternal and Phoenix Entertainment, created by friend of the channel, Tony Marshall. Not Tony Marshall, Thomas Marshall. I apologize. I don't know where that
I was like,
from. Tony Marshall. No, Thomas Marshall. It's a really cool kind of anthropomorphic adventure game. And so they'll be running demos of that game there. So if you happen to be in the Indianapolis area and happen to go to HoosierCon and are looking for an interesting game, look that one up. DJURA. It's got some amazing art, and he's putting the finishing touches on it before he kickstarts it later this year. And by later this year, I mean possibly next month. I don't want to put that energy on him, though, so we'll let him talk about it, because, whoa, that thing just went flying. Because he will be less likely on the stream next week to talk about basically the process of designing a game in this modern era. Something like looking up and there's just this thing floating over your head. But basically we'll be talking about game design, basically how basically the process of actually creating an RPG, because we do a lot of talking about RPGs and things like that and how systems work, and it'd be interesting to actually talk to someone who's actually in the process of creating it and all the things they have to think about while they basically actually design one. So that will be next week, so look forward to that.
Once again, barring con crud.
Barring con crud, because all of us will be basically retreating back from that and trying to figure out, basically hopefully figure out what air we breathed.
Now remember, I still mask.
That's fine. And basically, I would definitely encourage masking if A, you're immunocompromised, B, you think you might possibly, in any shape, manner, or form, have something. Then that's the point of that. That is the purpose masking has served in basically in non-American cultures for. I don't even know where those are. Where are those?
You know about going to escape, going down the list and clicking on it, and the piece will start flashing. Okay.
Yep. I just did that, and I didn't see what started flashing. I must not be facing it.
Which piece are you looking for?
Either the incinerator coals or the incinerator sigils.
The coils are the pieces on top of the.
There we go. Now it's flashing.
Gun.
Got it. Yeah, up there.
Oh,
probably.
I see where it is.
I was gonna say you can probably see it up there.
Helps if I'm not using a really long extension.
Bull. I love that basically your statement, I'm assuming basically is a response to us talking about masking. But it looks like you're just saying you're 100% agreeing that you're going to basically get the con card without going to the con, which is a bold statement to make.
I'm gifted. What can I say?
That wasn't. There we go.
There we go.
One of us had it.
The rails. You couldn't get to it because of the rails.
All right. Here's our time lapse of us taking this thing apart. You'll see me spending a normal amount of time staring at a fist, trying to get all the finger armor. There we go. Chant of the Unrelenting Hamper initiated. Tech priest, though many of us have been stationed within this glorious ring of iron for time immemorial, none of us have borne witness to the caliber of warrior which stands before you now. Dispersed in the holiest, by the unholiest Xenos and Flora, it rages for absolution.
My turn. My turn.
Okay.
Know then that you will perform rites of cleansing upon a dreadnought, variant withheld to classification level Z326.01 of the chapter withheld. Once fallen, twice risen, now augmented by machine, the dreadnought will exalt the Amnesha for millennia to come. This is a singular honor. Do not fail me unless you wish for transfer to the Skitari on Partis 5.
Probably.
Glory be
to
the
the
machine
God.
So say we all.
Yep. You can, by the way, you can click on messages if you want to see.
All the other ones.
Yep. Here's the last one that we had. Basically, chant of the Unrelenting Hammer complete. Tech priest. Through the explosion of the unholy residuals of redacted blasphemy, you have honored our illustrious subjects. I feel the vibrant fortitude of the Omnissiah surge inside every atom of its adamantine carapace. May the forces upon which is to be unleashed find the Emperor's raft. Agenda. The Forge Temple grows even more inspirited. You have been assigned rights upon a task force set to retrieve a restricted artifact H-class from withheld strategic ASTR B785, and there is much yet to be done. Cognitive reset delayed. Expect your next sacrament imminently. Praise the Omnissiah. All right. So now we go to our next one, which is the Rogal Dorn Battle Tank. Go ahead and read this one. I think you can see this one, Tony.
No, my tablet is currently totally blank.
Really? All right, I will read it and click Start Job. Canticle of the Iron Soul Initiative. Task. Tech Priest, it is time for your next rite. A Rogal Dorn battle tank procured from the hive world of withheld classified. Substantial biological foulness blunts its machine spirit and demeans its sacred symmetry. Intel. This Rogal Dorn tank will be under the personal command of the eminent Commissar Franz, attached to the Astral Millennium forces at the imminent assault upon withheld strategic ASTRF B785. Owing to the Rogal Dorn's personal importance to the Commissar, he has insisted on the recording directives which will be issued during the cleanse. Addendum. The nature of the depositions contains certain sensitivities, so I encourage you to accompany the cleanse with the contemplation upon the wisdom of Magus Lucius Fastidius. The eyes of the righteous look without seeing. Praise the Omnissiah. Yes, your cognitive reset has been delayed. It's fine. Data recording, Tech Priest. Know that I expect my tank to be flawless upon its return. This is Commissar Franz speaking to us. In recording, apparently.
Commissar Hans and Commissar Franz, we're here to pump you up.
Should this not be the case, I shall arrange for you to join my forces gathered for the assault upon withheld strategic AIS drawer B785. I do like the whiskey. Indeed, I am certain you would fit in admirably among the ragtime collective of my vanguard. I do like the fact that whiskey is still covered in filth, and it's like you're painting it as the bright colors emerge from underneath the filth. That's a nice effect.
I hope you're not talking about the sound effect, because...
No, the sound effects are still icky and gooey and squishy. But the effect of removing the biscuit, if you go off to the side, when you're doing the side, there's enough dust and other stuff on it that when you peel it off, you can actually see the bright colors under it. So it gives you a nice effect of, like you're kind of painting it as you reveal the bright colors underneath the biscuit, as you take it from a dull brown tan into a actual colored model.
It's like when Dorothy steps into the land of Oz.
And you were there, and you were there, and so was the Rogal Dorn's battle tank. Okay, that's a little specific there, Dorothy, but okay. Dorothy visiting Warhammer 40k would be a completely different tale, and I don't think it would end as well.
Oh, so did you know in Liberal, Kansas, there is Dorothy's house?
The way you say Liberal, Kansas.
There is a town called Liberal in Kansas.
Oh, okay. I'm just like...
Yeah, no, yep.
You knew what you were doing. Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
He said what he
whole,
said.
Like little Wizard of Oz tourist trap sort of thing. So of course, when I drove out to California last summer, and we went through there, we stopped.
Nice. You got a magnet or any other?
I got some flying monkey stickers for my mom who collects such things.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of weird how much flying monkey stuff she has. We're going to ignore the fact that I've tracked most of it down for her.
Ah.
Because,
I'm
my
sure the
mom's in her
joke
70s. She does not spend all of her time online like I do.
I'm sorry. Multi-Milta. You know that they're basically the main guns are called Melta guns. And yes, you are correct that this is very World War II inspired, because, again, the entire miniatures hobby pretty much owes 90%, all of its existence, to the old
War
gamers, basically miniature gamers who love to reenact old battles. Commissar Franz, data recording. Among our number are the Regiment Withheld. Are you familiar with them, a Tech Priest? No, but I'm sure since this is a recording, me answering you would be pointless. While most of my number need encouragement from my power sword, with Regiment Withheld, I need it to hold them back. Here's the name of the tank, the Kadia. On what side of my power sword might you fall, Tech Priest? How about the far away, sir? Far, far away.
I'll be on the side that's on top of the scaffolding going, it's over, Anakin, I've got the high ground.
Oh, did you see that they're doing a, for May 4th this year, they're doing a marathon of all 9 movies?
I saw, on one of the Discords I'm on, I saw somebody say they got the tickets for it.
Wow.
And I guess the place is offering discounts on concessions through the entire day, and will actually also have a breakfast buffet to kick it off.
Yeah, I've heard that basically the crazy thing is that it's without intermissions.
Well, it seems like it's a crazy thing, but if you're doing something like that, you've seen the movies enough that you know when you can walk away to go to the bathroom and not miss anything.
Not a Set It fan, you can walk away and go hit the restroom, grab some food. Plenty. The reason why these individuals are called tech priests is because in the far distant future of 40K, actual knowledge is kind of lost. Basically, in the sense that it's a combination of the fact that due to fascist control, a lot of the arts and sciences are heavily restricted because independent thought is a no-no. Because we don't need independent thinkers, we just need people to do their job. And so a lot of that knowledge gets lost, and so you end up with a weird mix of technology works on superstition. So the people who keep the machines working by blessing it with the holy oil and anointing it with basically invoking the correct sequence are priests, because they are obviously, they invoke the tech gods, the Omnissiah, and correctly basically pray the right prayers and say the right chants. Basically, think of it as basically an entire generation of boomers who have not been taught actually how their computers work, but instead have been given just a whole bunch of songs and silly things to do, and that's how they figured out how computers work. And so they're like, well...
Imagine?
Yeah. Just imagine. Just imagine that blown up to a larger scale. Imagine the entire military working on that system. Grandma, why do you sing and dance every time you press the power button? Well, one time I didn't do it and the computer didn't turn on, and then I did it again and it worked the second time. Did you press hard enough the first time? I don't know, but I know it worked when I was singing and dancing, so why take the chance? That's how superstitious behaviors get started. Same reason why your dog or cat acts that way when you're getting them food. Because you'll... Why do you make that loud, scratchy noise every time you connect to the internet? Ouch. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Wee.
I miss logging on my computer going, welcome.
My computer never said welcome, because we never had AOL. But it did make the loud, scratchy handshake noise every time. Lots of screeching, and then... The worst part is when the internet was down, or you were trying to connect to something and it wasn't working, and you would get part of the handshake. Oh, incoming message. Beyond the regiment withheld stand 3 companies of Cadian troops. Thank you. Cadian troops. Anything more? Okay. To say they would be squandered in my diversionary vanguard is an understatement. Well, I'm glad you just come out and say it, I guess. But I doubt you possess the honor to fight alongside them. Wow.
Yeah, well, I don't see your butt on laying in their stomach trying to get all the
this
gunk
is
out from between tank treads.
This is that's the soap dispenser. That's why that's not giving me any useful cleaning. I'm like, why is this? This seems messy. The T850. I'm glad this thing has.
TRS-80?
Hey, don't talk that way about the Trash 80. Though most of them are probably in this condition. Covered in dirt in somebody's barn. Rear light. This rear light needs to be cleaned. What is this? There we go. Like, why is this rear light not clean? Rear assembly is not working. Here's a question. Are there actually any good guys in 40k, or is everyone some version of evil? The answer, basically, there are... The closest you get to good guys are a race known as the Tau. They're essentially the Protoss from StarCraft, if you've played that game. Basically, highly psychic, very much order and command. The downside is the fact that they tend to be a little bit our way or the highway, and the highway usually involves large amounts of high-level weapons. So they're good guys as long as they think you're a good guy. When you're not, basically, they don't think you're a good guy, well, then they're going to try to kill you. This track wheel is still dirty. How dare you? I feel like I've been less than methodical with this section. StarCraft is a fun time. Basically, I agree. Basically, speaking of old handshake computer noises and waiting for them to resolve. Basically, downloading Warcraft 2 over the internet, and then it was a huge file. It was like 10 meg.
Oh, giant.
Yeah, it took a while to download. It was basically, but I was really excited to play the Warcraft demo. And then I called my friend on the phone and told them that we were going to basically talk to them and asked them if they wanted to play Warcraft 2. So after they downloaded it, then I hung up the phone. After we established that the game had started, and then I dialed his PC. Basically waited for it to accept the connection, so that we could play the game again. So we could play the game against each other, because we had to call each other directly in order to actually make that work. That's how LAN basically. That's not how LAN worked in those days. But that's how basically, if you were not somebody rich who actually had a DSL line and actually had a local area network, that is how that worked. In fact, we need to call each other directly to play head-to-head. Yep.
We lived out in the middle of nowhere where everything was long distance, so yeah, I didn't do anything online until college.
Oh. It was the advantage to living in a Chicagoland suburb. Basically, Basically, my dad eventually did basically reach the point where, or maybe my mom, I don't know which one of them made the final decision, but did reach the point where they're like, we need 2 phone lines so we can have a data phone line and an internet, basically a voice phone line. That way you didn't have to worry about forcing someone to hang up the phone in order to get on the internet.
Yeah, most apartments I was in, we had 2 phone lines.
People who had switchers and things like that, so they can switch between having the phone connected to the computer or switch it to basically having it connected to their voice line. So they would disconnect it from the phone so you couldn't accidentally lose your internet connection if someone picked up the phone. Brother, where is the scaffold? There's the scaffold.
It was right behind me, wasn't it?
It was. I'd like to place the scaffold. Scaffolding place. Let go? Oh, am I in something? Why can I not deploy the scaffold?
Sometimes it seems like there is just this like 1 5mm area that it will fit in.
There we go. Yeah, it was just not letting me deploy at all. Like, I couldn't see anything that was preventing me.
And it'll change color
on the
when
wrong
it
side.
be dropped. That's not weird.
Somewhere in here, there is a place where I can put this. Nope, those are candles. There. A little bit further than I would want, but you know, close enough. Now it's actually facing the right way, so I can actually jump on the tank. Aha. Look at all this effectiveness I'm getting from being up here. I'm cleaning so effectively. Look at me now.
You gave up on the tank treads, didn't you?
Yep. Look at me now, off this. Watch me clean. Speaking of Messiahs, happy Easter to those who celebrate it this week. Or happy spring otherwise. When does spring start exactly?
Last week.
The spring says, are we officially in spring now?
Yeah.
Nice. Welcome to spring. And 1 week away from the eclipse for those people who live in the Midwest. Though I did check the forecast, and I was sad to see that currently in the forecast, let's see, Weather Channel's far out forecast for the 8th, currently listed as raining, which is sad. Hopefully that's not an all-day thing.
That's just so Indiana.
Yep. Yeah. Or are among the 600,000 people who are traveling to the Midwest. Could be anybody. Nope, data recording. Finally, we have the penal legions. Careful how you say those. I've collected these redacted hyperbolic from every corner of the galaxy. Good to know that hyperbolic gets redacted. I won't have them redactive illustrative in their cells where they can be put to good use fighting for the glory of the Imperium. I feel like this sentry is getting a bit much. Oh, there it is. It's right there. I can see it. There we go. Perhaps I would deploy you amongst them. Here's pretty. You're spending a lot of time like daydreaming over where you'd stick me in your legions, buddy. I have a job. It's a messy job, an ugly job, but I have a job. I don't think this is the encouragement you think it is. Whoa! Ah, I figured out how to launch myself straight up. You're busy cleaning your tank. Yeah, I just ordered a bunch of supplies for the basically for eclipse parties and things like that. Because, as they've been saying, the fact that if you are in the eclipse area, buy your groceries ahead of time for next weekend.
Yeah, we're going under blizzard procedures.
Pretty much. Except basically, unlike just people panicking because they're panicking because of a fake snowstorm. This is more likely to actually cause shortages and supply issues. Just because of the sheer number of people who show up, end up at Airbnbs or staying in hotels and want groceries, or people buying for parties. Alright, I'm missing just a little bit left on this track here. Where is it? Oh, there, rolling. There we go. Track clean. Woo! Thank goodness. Oh, there's some stuff here. Gunk on the boxes. Congratulations on your track clean. Where is this? There we go. That's one of them. Do I have all of them now?
And I got up here without use of the scaffolding.
Ooh. Look at you, parkour master.
Parkour! Gain a +1.
Gain a +1. It's like making the kitchen noise in Feng Shui. There we go. What else is up here? Which is track armor. Track armor is dirty. What qualifies as track armor? That is Let's clean that off. I think that's tread. I don't know what that is I'm cleaning. Oh, that's the side ports probably. '17 fast food restaurants along the highways ran out of food. Wow. I mean, it is a lot of people suddenly in an area. Though I did read a Not the Onion article from Newsweek, which was talking about the fact that Texas was going to have to brace itself because during the thing, their solar production would drop because of the eclipse. And
I was laughing that Texas had solar.
No, Texas is second, I think, only to California.
I just know I keep hearing about how their power issues.
Private bulk. Unauthorized data overrides. Do not listening to the rambling of that infernal commissar. We in the Penal Legions pledge our allegiance to the Imperium voluntarily, and I'm honored to be part of this regiment. Wow. Somebody,
At least that's what the script says.
Yep. Well, this is an unauthorized data. Better to redacted conjecture in an honorable futility than as a traitor in redacted conditions unconfirmed concrete box. That's a Lester Rod. Where is this last bit of dirt on this track armor? Is that it? Reviewing slick money. Is one piece of track armor. It's driving me crazy. Where is it? Where is the last piece of dirt? There it is. It was that back of that insignia thing. Like, come on. Alright. That track is clean. That track is clean. Oh, the multi-mill too. There we go. It's done. Is there still... No, wait, no, there is something. The multi-melta sponson. This is where I admit I don't know what a sponson is. There we go. Whatever it is, it's clean now. Oh, track adjuster, that's clean. Side wheel, clean. Back, okay. Alright. Sponson. A projection on the side of a boat, ship, or seaplane. The gun platform standing out from a warp ship's side. A short subsidiary wing which serves to stabilize the seaplane. So I guess it was the part that was supporting the gun. That makes some sense. It's a tank. A tank is a type of war vehicle. Correct. Some kind of war vehicle. Exhaust armor clean. Exhaust armor clean. Stowed fuel can. All the little bits that go on top. Stowed fuel drum is still dirty. I'm guessing this is a... Maybe I need to get it hooked up. Alright, what else is there going on? Still deciding what games we're going to look at next month, besides talking with Thomas about Jura. So if you have recommendations about that, feel free to either shout them out here or contact us on our social media. We have a Blue Sky account. We have an Instagram account. We even have a Facebook account. We don't really have a Twitter account, in case you're wondering. Our social media person has decided that Twitter is, for some reason, terrible. Could be any reason.
I mean, they're all terrible, but, you know.
Don't worry, they're getting federated now, so they'll all be interactive. They will all interact with each other. You can have a long discussion about that.
I was going to say, no, the Blue Sky account for LoreLink is on our counter.
Yes. Blue Sky is right there. Facebook is right there, and Instagram is right there. Basically, all the same, basically, because as a basically, just I suppose, basically, you know, I could talk about that. Basically, we are LoreLink. We basically, when we're not cleaning tanks from Warhammer 40k, we are basically producing. Oh, there's just something right there, and I can't get to it. It's driving me nuts. We are producing a GM management software, which helps GMs, DMs, and basically have all sorts of shapes inside. Record keepers basically helps them basically keep track of their big games, their complicated games. So if you have a game like taking place in Warhammer 40k, which has all of this lore and things like that, game systems like Rogue Trader is one of the Warhammer 40k game systems. That was from Fantasy Flight Games, and so before they became Edge Studios. But all that information you have to keep track of can get overwhelming because there's a lot of it going on, and then your players are awesome and add more, and you need to keep track of that, like who is an NPC, or basically which tech priest did one of your commands piss off, and therefore they have a grudge against? Basically, they have a grudge against you, or who said something terrible in the presence of somebody else who's going to report it to the Empire? You keep track of all those using notes and things like that. You can easily add new characters when you need to add new NPCs in. You're like, oh, they've got to deal with this commissar or this merchant or this private that shows up. You do all of those basically just quickly and easy inside of LoreLink and add those all in. If you're curious about LoreLink, if basically you want to give it a try, oh hey, a letter appears. Basically, if you are in the Indianapolis area, the first 1,000 people who attend HoosierCon will be given access to LoreLink for 3 months. This is a limited time, basically access. Basically getting more people in and more feedback and things like that. And basically as a thank you to HoosierCon for all the work they do in hosting a game convention that not only helps people in need because they often donate money to food banks and other charities nearby. They also have community pricing and allow people who may not be able to attend Gen Con or things like that due to the expense of those conventions, being able to instead attend this convention and still be able to hang out, have fun, attend a fun convention without having to worry about cost and things like that. So, LoreLink, we're happy to help join that cause and help add to the fun of that kind of event, because we believe that gaming is for everyone. Basically, it is. There are so many studies and so many different ways I have seen gaming be people talk about using role-playing games as either jokingly or actually seriously as therapy. I've seen it used as educational tools for teaching children about math, about social situations. I've even seen it used for teaching those who aren't necessarily able to easily interact with the world. It is a way, nice, painless way of doing this, building those skills through role playing. So I've seen this, and I know that there are several groups who do that, and some of them basically show up at Gen Con, things like that. So gaming basically, while fun, actually has a lot of cool uses, and as such, we love to see people out there having fun and supporting others do the same. Did I finish Multitude? I never saw that ding, and so I've been trying to clean that thing for the last 20 minutes. Wow, okay. I think everything back here is good. Okay. I'm going to move on now. It's fine. That's the downside to PowerWash. You're like, wait, I see something yellow. I have to clean off every inch of it. You just need to move around over there, and you'll actually finish it. Oh, okay. I'm just going to jump up and down and spray these until I get all of them clean. I think I got everything. Top heavy stubber ammo box.
We got the track adjuster.
Everybody loves heavy stubbers. There's the main turret. Top heavy stubber. Top heavy stubber ammo box. Alright. We spent long enough, it's time to clean the main turret. My stuff. I'd like to move. What am I standing on currently on your screen, Tony?
Absolutely nothing.
That's what I wondered. Okay, cool. Don't report me as a heretic. Magic demon. You're just gonna cause motion sickness in your viewers. Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to. It would not let me out of that particular area, so now I'm here, floating in the air. There's some song about that, isn't there? There we go. Now I'm less heretical. Maybe? Kind of? I think I'm still kind of heretical.
You're at least on something.
Yeah. I can at least cover for it now. My heresy is at least reduced.
It's heresy light. Just 1 calorie.
Ooh.
Diet heresy.
Not diet heresy. Not as filling as regular heresy. Great taste, though. Discount heresy. Just a little heretical. Just you have a little bit of heresy. That's a treat.
Aldi brand heresy.
Ooh. Which is just the same as Trader Joe's heresy, but you know, you get it for half price at Aldi's. That's one of the things that blew my mind. Like, wait, Aldi's and Trader Joe's are the same company? Yeah. So out of all the CCGs that you did play, jumping back because I'm looking for topics, which one, other than Magic the Gathering, because it's an easy, that has obviously stood the test of time, which one did you enjoy the most?
Star Trek and Spellfire.
I never actually played I played the Star Trek one. That was the one that had planets, and you would set up a line of planets on the table, right?
I think so.
Like that vaguely sounds familiar.
Is by Decipher?
Yeah. Like a
Cool,
vaguely.
I found the spot on the main turret we hadn't found.
Nice. I was too busy being heretical to finish cleaning it. Like, I remember the Star Trek one, I don't know if I ever played Spellfire, because I don't even, I have no memory of how the rules work for Spellfire. Like, I have a vague memory of Star Trek.
We're talking so long ago, I don't have a vague memory of how the rules worked, but I remember when we figured it out, we had a good time with it.
I remember the fact that basically back in the day they had because TSR was so determined that they weren't going to let this young upstart Wizards of the Coast company show up and take their market share, because TSR produced D&D, so they were the masters in that space. So how dare this young upstart company come in? And as such, basically, they announced that they're creating Spellfire to compete against them, try to get some of that sweet CCG cash. And then in one of, I think it was Scry. I think it was Scryed. It was either Scryed or Dungeon. I can't remember which. They announced that they had a trade-in program where you could trade in your useless, basically your useless MTG booster boxes or cards, and they would send you free Spellfire packs in exchange for basically for sending it in. And just thinking about how much money one of those is worth now versus the other. That's a heck of a ripoff, as it were. Front lights. Where are the front lights?
See what I'm shooting?
Those. Okay. How are they still here? Who knows?
See, I'm gonna see. It might be something on the top.
Yep. All right, I'll go look at the coaxial autocannon. Everybody loves the coaxial autocannon. I just need to find the coaxial autocannon. All right, you found the coaxial autocannon. Nicely done. All right. And here's our time lapse of cleaning off a Dominator tank. Like, this is the bowl something. Rogal Dorn battle tank. There we go. We earned $150. And
at least I get to keep the money after these games.
Oh, it does.
It doesn't show that I've completed. I've still got to clean the entire dang thing in single player.
Basically, the last message that we received: Canticle of the Iron Soul complete. Update: Tact Priest, it says that the battle tank has emerged from its forge temple for the very first time. It is resurrected. Even the toe hooks thirst for glory. I will advocate for your promotion to the rank of Ensignior, along with further cybernetic replacement of your Biologica. Advice: in the interim, it would be wise for you to reflect upon the words of Lord Drogon Pulvis Gamma 6. That which cannot be trusted must be removed. Praise the Omnissiah. Apparently Ensignior is higher than Tech Priest. Even though the one guy was complaining about cleaning off stuff as Ensignior as opposed to the Tech Priest. And basically, the next thing we would do is another Dreadnought.
It's Engine Seer.
Engine Seer. Ah, that makes sense. Thank you for the correction, 20. Basically, and next time that we meet, we could basically you could take on cleaning the Redemptor Dreadnought, which is different than the. Wait, didn't we do that? Oh, we did do the Redemptor Dreadnought. Never mind. We have one left. It is the Imperial Knight Paladin. So we have that left, basically, for a future stream at some point. All right. Well, Thank you.
And then we've got Midgard if we want to stick with the whole gaming thing. So.
Yes, basically we can clean the Final Fantasy VII stuff. Those look cool. I enjoy it. Basically those are. I've looked at some of those. Basically have some cleaning the bar, basically cleaning the model of Midgar. It's really cool.
And we can do up to 4 people on this, right?
It depends on the content. Like this one. Is only 1 to 2 players in.
Oh, okay.
Basically, well, what can be done is basically in the story mode, it's only 1 to 2 players. Midgar is the same way, but if someone goes through and basically cleans it out, free play is 1 to 6 players. I'm not certain why they basically like I'm not certain it's a game balance thing that they feel like 6 people is too many and you'd finish it too quickly. That's good. You might get that money too quickly and get ahead of the thing. And they do also have basically we also have the Tomb Raider package as well. All right, game balance.
Yeah, I still haven't put money on the SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, is that what actually cost? Yeah, you're right. That one actually costs additional money. How dare it? Tomb Raider and Midgar made sense because back when this was originally published, this was Square Enix product, which Square Enix used to be the publishers of Eidos, who used to be the publishers of Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not certain that they still are. Either of those is still associated with Tomb Raider. I know that Square Enix no longer owns Eidos. But in any case, we have reached we reached about 6:30. So this is probably as good a place as any to stop. I thank my assistant, as it says right here, Tony Troxel, for assisting me basically for this journey. He shuts the door behind him. At least he wasn't born in a barn, you know? In any case, so like I talked about earlier, this weekend is the big weekend for HoosierCon. So if you're in the Indianapolis area, basically feel free to drive out to the east side, basically far east side of Indianapolis, where it is the Marriott. I don't know what the actual Marriott East, I think is the name.
Yeah, I think it's just Marriott East.
Yep. Okay.
Marriott on the east side.
Yep. Basically, the Marriott East in Indianapolis. And they have started charging for all tickets now. It used to be a completely free one, but they've had to start charging now because costs have gone up, as everything has, and hotels are hotels. But the tickets are still reasonably priced for just a membership. And anyone who buys basically, if you're buying a ticket, you will basically receive the 3 months free of LoreLink. So basically, as long as you're there in the first 1,000 people, you'll get that nifty sheet of paper. I would show you one, but it has QR codes and things like that on it that would give away access codes, and I don't want to have to deal with that. They're also down the hall, and I have to walk all the way down there and walk all the way back, and oh, how terrible. But basically, in any case, so that is this weekend. We are basically there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I may or may not be there Sunday because I forgot Sunday was Easter. So I may have I have Easter plans, so I'll have to work around those. But the LoreLink team will be there in some form or another all 3 days. Basically, we'll be demoing LoreLink, showing off LoreLink, basically talking to people. So feel free to stop by and say hi if you're watching this either live or catching this on the VOD. After that, next Tuesday, basically, we will be having Thomas Marshall of Eternal and Phoenix discussing Jura of the Twilight Age. And then after that is basically I will have a planning session where I look and take LoreLink and take apart a role-playing game of some sort. Basically, look at it and look how I would plan a game in it using LoreLink instead of discussing GMing techniques. Basically, using LoreLink to help basically support running a game. Excuse me. Outside of that, I don't think we have any really long-term plans beyond that, but if you want to know what plans we do have ahead of time, again, we have the social media sites, which will give you a trickle feed of information as it comes out. If you want it more summarized in a monthly format, excuse me. You can check out, basically, we have a newsletter which will come to your inbox once a month, maybe two if we have exciting, interesting news, but not really. Basically, we're not going to flood your inbox. Give me a drink.
I'm too busy to write weekly. It's not happening.
It's a lot of
because if we went weekly, you wouldn't be writing all of it. So,
I don't know. I would probably still end up running it. It's why it's basically it's on me to provide content, and I can provide content with the best of them. But that will give you a summary monthly of everything that happened in the month before and what's coming up in the next month. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to engage with social media but still want to get updates, that's an awesome way of doing it. If you caught this stream partway through at the end, or basically you watched all the way through, and you're like, hey, I want to see more of this content, check out our YouTube channel, where we have saved previous, basically, VODs of our previous games, including most recently, we did a playthrough of Hardwired Island. So if you want to see a neat community-driven cyberpunk adventure and see how that gets planned and played out, check the VODs for that. Before that, we did Blades in the Dark.
Parkour.
And which is really, you saying parkour is funny when I'm staring at a screen that says Tomb Raider. And then before that, we did Blades in the Dark. And so basically in the future, we'll be doing other interesting streams and things like that. So basically, what's another way of keeping track of all those? If you follow us here on Twitch, if you subscribe to us here on Twitch using either your actual money or Jeff Bezos' money in the form of a Twitch Prime sub, which can basically, if you click the sub button, if you dig down in there, you will note the fact that there is basically they've kind of hidden it because people started using it. How dare they? Basically, I believe it's a drop down, basically kind of hidden inside of there. You have to expand it, and it'll say pay with your Twitch gaming sub. Basically, Twitch Prime sub. You click on that, and basically it'll give you 1 month free. It does not auto renew, so you can give it to a different streamer in the next month. But that is an easy way of supporting any streamer here on Twitch. We will gladly accept Jeff Bezos' money. We appreciate all the support that we get. If you're watching this on YouTube, obviously subscribing on YouTube is free and just gives you updates, and clicking the bell lets you know when things go live and when new videos get posted. And liking videos helps us know videos that people are watching and enjoy and what content to make more of. So, all that to say, there is a bunch of different ways to support, follow, and otherwise engage with LoreLink. So, basically, if any of those sound interesting to you, please go ahead, give us feedback and let us know. All right, and with that, I think we will sign off here for the day, and we will catch you next week or at the convention if you happen to be there. Thanks, all.
Later, y'all.